the A-5C. The A-5C is a rank 6 strike aircraft in the Chinese tech tree, capable of carrying air-to-air weaponry as well as air-to-ground weaponry. As this is my first review, I will be dividing the review in 3 parts: air-to-air pros and cons, air-to-ground pros and cons, and recommendations. Let's start with air capabilities. Air combat capability wise, the aircraft acts like a MiG-19 in most ways, having average mobility but excellent energy retention, being capable of keeping its energy in a 90-degree angle with seemingly no energy loss. Even with all secondary weapon loads on, the aircraft also carries Magic 1 missiles, which are great rear aspect missiles for some quick snapshots. The aircraft also has a great RWR with IFF, which enables you to spot enemy radar carrying aircraft before they can even spot you, as well as launch detection, though I've noticed that sometimes launch isn't detected, like with the Mirage F1. The aircraft gets two 23mm Type 23-2K cannons, which can easily snap wings off aircrafts with ease as long as you hit your shots. Once you get the hang of it, you can easily eliminate slow-flying foes or other larger targets, like the F-111. You can carry rocket pods, which can potentially work as makeshift flares due to the low amount of flares. The lack of a radar also makes it easy to utilize for ambushing unaware players. For the downsides of air capabilities, the aircraft appears to not have SAS, which helps stabilize the aircraft and avoid overturning too much, causing sometimes some overturning when engaging targets with guns. The aircraft turn capability can make it suboptimal in a turn fight dogfight. The aircraft only carries 18 countermeasures, and carrying chaff makes it so 2 flares get shot out instead of a single one, making me recommend against taking chaff, which makes you an easier target against radar missiles. Meaning multipath, dodging, or cranking the missile is the only real way of avoiding radar missiles like the M7. The engine also spend a lot of fuel, recommending you to take maximum fuel if you're planning on using afterburners. The overall guns can feel sluggish at times and rather slow firing compared to others. The lack of a radar makes it harder to spot certain radarless targets like the A-10 or other strike aircrafts with capable missiles. As for ground capabilities, the aircraft is likely one of the fastest of its type, as well as one of the most basic ones to utilize, being able to carry the essential for small flights to a target to take it out. The aircraft is also incredibly capable of taking out 2 bases, with it being faster than most of its counterparts, and then to engage in a fight, making the aircraft one of the best for multi-role. The aircraft has access to CCIP for rockets, bombs, as well as its guns, making it easier to target ground targets, but that's just as far as things go for the upsides. The aircraft feels incredibly sluggish to take out ground targets due to the lack of SAS, as well as the low amount of ammo it carries, up to 28 rockets and 4 bombs. The rockets it carries are also incredibly hard to utilize, making the aircraft incredibly inaccurate. Unlike the Su-25 and the A-10 series, that's 23mm guns make it bad at killing ground targets, but that's expected. The only targets being possible to kill being APCs, SPAAs, and if you're lucky, self-propelled guns. Even then, the damage output feels incredibly suboptimal even against soft targets. If you're in for the grind, I wouldn't recommend going for ground targets unless you're wanting a challenge, one which I personally enjoy. As for recommendations, I personally recommend taking Type 90 rocket pods, 4 napalm bombs, and 2 Magic 1 missiles for the aircraft, once in a match, using 2 napalm bombs per base, and then engaging unaware players. When dogfighting, I recommend going vertical and forcing the enemy to energy trap themselves while looking behind yourself for any enemy missiles. This trick has worked out most of the time. However, do play this card carefully, as experienced players will know not to follow you, and keep an eye on your speed, as you may energy trap yourself by doing such a maneuver. If successful, you should be able to turn back down and fire a missile at them. If you're going for ground targets, I recommend taking 750-pound bombs and a mix of Type 130 and Type 90 rocket pods. Type 130 rockets for SPAAs and Type 90 rockets for tanks and self-propelled guns. Bombs should also be used against tanks. Don't rely on the 23 mils to take out SPAAs unless you're out of ammo and are actively trying to take out the last SPAA standing. As of the time of posting this video, I am working on a script for a tutorial to do close air support against ground vehicles, as well as tips that I learned while playing strike aircraft. Feel free to leave a like, a comment down below, subscribe if you want more future content, and see you next time.